going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Go back with another video, and today we are doing the NFL Beast Picks Super Bowl 58 edition. Joining me once again back in the studio, the reigning 48.
Boom. My prediction is the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl.
I wish that was the case.
I do too, because I don't want either of these two teams. That's for sure.
Imagine if we had not missed that field goal, we would probably be in the Super Bowl right now.
As in we, do you mean both teams?
No, the Packers.
Okay, how about the Bills?
Bills might definitely have been in it too, but I'm just saying, the way the Lions were way too aggressive, and I feel like we could have beaten them in Detroit.
Instead, we're stuck with this train wreck, the Taylor Swift Bowl. Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Swifties.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Swifties.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the designated home team, right? Or no, the 49ers are.
I think it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, because they're wearing the red. So the Kansas City Chiefs are the designated home team, and they are facing the San Francisco 49ers, the most overrated team in Super Bowl history. In the Super Bowl, actually, no. They're not the most overrated Super Bowl team, but they are up there because they really aren't that good. Yeah, that's the Super Bowl we're getting. Chiefs 49ers.
I hate it.
I hate it too. You're rooting for the...
I'm rooting for my money.
Oh, yeah, that's too.
I don't care who wins. I hope they tie.
They can't. They won't let them.
I hope they tie. This game goes on until next year, September, when the kickoff starts. No team gets an advantage. Patrick Mahomes has a sprained toe because he's out there for too long. Travis Kelce gets dumped by Taylor Swift because he doesn't pay enough attention to her because he's playing. I don't care.
Well, what I don't care is I don't care about this 49er team and the Brock Purdy system quarterback and the whole trying to make him the new Tom Brady type deal here and the whole 49ers being somehow that good when they can barely win games and only win games because other teams miss a field goal or not kick a field goal, for example, with the Detroit Lions. Especially...
we don't want to say anything. It's the same story about Kansas City right now. It's not like their offense was humming. Like, Patrick Mahomes does a couple things a game, and then their defense won it for them this year. That offense wasn't it.
That's also because the Ravens' defense was pretty good against them. Ravens didn't allow a point in the second half.
Yeah, and then instead the Ravens can't score because Lamar's a bum.
Yeah, but because of those championship games, we were 0-2, so, it's the same old story from going into last week. One in favor of you for the overalls. For the season. So advantages. Are we gonna go right to the predictions, or are we gonna go to the advantages?
We can go to advantages first, I guess.
So I guess we start with the edge of the quarterback position. I say 100% Patrick Mahomes has the edge over Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, again, system quarterback. Tries to not do that much, but at the same time, when he does, he's literally been handed credit for stuff that he doesn't do. Like, he's made so many bad passes in the playoffs, and the guy should have 5 interceptions right now, but he only has 1. And Patrick Mahomes, I think, has played better than him and obviously has the more experience.
I'm gonna pump the brakes and put you on ice a little bit. By no means am I gonna come out and be like Brock Purdy's a top 5 quarterback, because he's not. But we've seen in the past that system quarterbacks do work as long as you're willing to stay with it. This is a kid who's very selfless. He didn't necessarily have the time to shine at Iowa State, but I think part of that is what's helping him here. We knew that this was the offense that Shanahan wanted to run. He wants a system quarterback. That's why we all thought Jimmy Garoppolo would work there. And Jimmy Garoppolo just proved he's not a system quarterback.
He did do good.
But he didn't do what Purdy's done. I would say Purdy's been better than Garoppolo.
I don't know. They both had the same success there.
I would say Purdy's been better.
I think Garoppolo, if Garoppolo had never gotten injured last year, I think he would have just done the same thing that Purdy did.
I think I think Purdy's a step up from Garoppolo. I think he's a smarter quarterback. That being said, it is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes absolutely has the advantage here. It's a guy where as much as I cannot stand his family, you got to give him credit for the talent he has. He makes plays when there's nothing. There's only one other guy in the league who does it to the same high caliber that he is, and that's Josh Allen. Those are the two guys where even when a play is as close to dead as it is, it's still never dead. Mm-hmm. So it unfortunately has to go to that. It's Mahomes easily.
Yep.
Running back. It's got to go to the Niners.
Yeah.
And even more so has to go to the Niners in this game.
Because I mean, that's why I would argue that's why they're mainly in the Super Bowl.
I'm not even getting
of him.
I'm not even going to that point. Looking at the defenses here, the Niners allow less than 60 rushing yards a game to opposite running backs. The Chiefs allow almost 100 per game to opposing running backs. And if you're going head to head, I've got McCaffrey here and I've got Pacheco maybe here. Like, that one's not even close.
Yeah, Pacheco's a good running back, but it's no contest when you're comparing
to the best in the league.
Yeah.
I don't think there's, people can get butthurt about it. I don't think there's another way of putting it. McCaffrey, until showing otherwise, when he's healthy, is the best in the league.
Yeah. Wide receivers?
Yeah. Also, San Fran. They have a bunch of gadget guys. And it might sound mean, but unfortunately, that's exactly what it is. They don't have one prototypical number one receiver. They have a guy who's building towards it, Rashee Rice.
Good.
But at the same time, you never want to say your number one receiver is your slot receiver. Even when you had somebody who did that with the Rams, Cooper Kupp dropped off how quickly. The last 2 years for him have been very, very bad. Slot receivers are great. They're wonderful. You want to have one that's super talented, but I wouldn't necessarily call that a number one. San Fran gets away with not really using a slot, with being Jawan Jennings, but I'm going to take Debo and Brandon Ayuk before I'm going to touch anything to do with Rashee Rice right now. And MVS is a deep threat, and that's really it. He hasn't proven anything.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney's a bum. I'm salty about that.
I think it's balanced. I think it's a balanced, even thing. Obviously, the tight ends, obviously they got great. Both of them have great tight ends. That kind of cancels that out. In terms of the receiving core,
I thought we were going to separate tight ends up, but
oh no, I was calling them a receiving core in general.
Okay,
but I guess if we separate them, then I guess tight ends would obviously be even at that point.
Yes, I'm glad you said that because that's what's going to that's tough. Give it 2 years ago, and I think Kelsey's got a monstrous edge on Kittle. But Kelsey's showing that wear and tear, that fall off.
Yeah. But, yeah, in terms of the receiving core in general, just like the wide receivers, I mean, I still think it's close. I think they're both really close on balance to each other. The Chiefs don't really have that many top-notch guys, but when they have to step up, they do step up, even though they're not big name. He doesn't have big name receivers. Brady had a lot of big name receivers. Manning had a lot of big name receivers. In this NFL thing, he doesn't really have any big name receivers, but they are always stepping up and they're always making plays for him. Valdes-Scantling, obviously, I think is a very good receiver, a very underrated receiver. Doesn't get enough. He doesn't get as much passes with Kansas City as he did with Aaron Rodgers, but when he was in Green Bay, he got a lot of completions and stuff like that. Here, he's kind of like secondary when they really need him, but when they need to get him going,
they're showing a bunch of Brock Purdy interceptions.
Yeah. But when he gets going, he gets going. They get going, and I think they got a lot in the same with the 49ers. 49ers got Deebo Samuel. And obviously, he can die to do a lot. He can do stuff in the running. He can do stuff in the receiving. But I think it's pretty balanced. I think it's the receiving, the tight end corps are really balanced, and I think it's even there. Just my take on it.
I'm still skewing the edge to the Niners
for the receiving, and then if you break up the tight ends, then it's even for you, right?
I would skew receivers to the Niners, tight ends even. Yes.
Okay. All right, and then what would be the next? We do defense.
We can do offensive line.
Offensive line. Okay.
I think it has to go to the Niners, especially with the fact that for the best part, Kansas City's probably missing their top lineman.
Yeah, they're missing linemen. I would say the 49ers also would have the best overall line right now.
Joe Tooney's out for the Chiefs. Their 2 tackles that they put a lot of money into have not paid off. I think the only constant on that line's been Creed Humphreys, the center. Whereas San Fran's put money into that line, they've let pieces leave, and they've continued to be very strong on the line. So I'm going to go with San Fran for sure on that.
Yeah, San Fran, I mean, for sure. I mean, they helped Purdy a lot. He definitely needs it with the way he's playing. But so yeah, I would give them the edge. Patrick Mahomes can still make plays with it, but if you're giving up sacks, I mean, that's still.
The problem is it's not even sacks.
Yeah.
The biggest issue
hurry
with
up,
Kansas
hurry up.
No. The biggest issue with Kansas City is I'm pretty sure both of their tackles are 2 of the most penalized players in the league. Allowing a rush is one thing. Getting penalized where there's no option for your player to get something, that's a whole other situation. So that's been a big problem.
All right, and then
Defense.
This
one's a little tougher because if it would have been a year ago, I'd say if it would have been 2 years ago, even a year ago, nobody's talking anything about how it's a good chance for KC. That defense was horrendous for years. That defense actually came alive this year.
Defense is pretty good this year.
But that being said, the Niners still had one of the top defenses in the league. Yes, the Niners reminded me of what the Bills were a couple years ago. When the Bills had their best run, the 13 seconds year, the whole thing was bend, don't break offense, or bend, don't break defense. And although the Niners give up a lot of yards, they don't give up a ton of points. They're really good against the run. They're not letting as many points against the air no matter what. I'm going with the Niners. It is a lot closer than it seems, but I really think the Niners is where it's at there.
I think KC has the edge on the defense.
Okay.
49ers defense has been exposed in the playoffs. They have given up a lot of points early on by the offenses. Like I said, the Packers had them on their breaks until we missed the field goal. The Lions had them on their breaks until they decided to not go for a field goal and go for fourth down. But, if you see early on, they were going really against them. And the Kansas City defense throughout the playoffs. And also this comes down to, I know we look at the regular season and stuff like that, but it also comes down to what you've been doing for me recently. When the playoffs, that's when it matters the most. And what I've seen the last couple of weeks, I really think Kansas City has a better defense right now than the 49ers do. And again, that's going to come down to... There's going to come out a lot of factors too. I do think a game is going to come down to a turnover battle, because it seems like that's how literally all these playoffs games have come down to. Is like, what have you gotten for me? And the Packers' biggest mistake was at the end, we gave up those turnovers at the end, and it cost us. And then field goal obviously missed, but I would give the edge to the Chiefs' defense.
Okay.
Special teams like kickers. You give the kickers the edge here? Kickers are important now. We've seen it.
They are.
It's affecting our playoff run. Affect our playoff run. Both of ours. Mine was wide left. Yours was wide right.
Don't say those words.
Don't worry. You can bring wide left on me.
Yeah, well, the wide right happened in a Super Bowl and continues to haunt us to the day, so...
Yeah, but you weren't alive for that.
Doesn't matter. I would be able to talk about having a Super Bowl if it didn't happen. That's a great question here. Let me look up the depth charts because I don't know how it's skewed right now. I don't know who the punt returners are for both teams too. That's a big thing.
We could just do it as special teams.
Yeah, I figure we do it as full special teams, but I want to see who the punt returners are. Richie James, Tommy Townsend, and Harrison Butker for the Chiefs. Do you know the Niners do have a Pro Bowl returner?
Well, that would be good for them. That would be a good advantage for them.
So they have a Pro Bowl returner in Ray McLeod, and I do like Ray McLeod, former Bill, former Clemson Tiger. However, they have Jake Moody. And if there was anything you could call his kicking, it's exactly that, moody. He's been very hit or miss. He's a rookie.
Ugh.
Yes. So I got to skew to Kansas City on that one. Harrison Bucker has been the epitome of consistent. Townsend's been very good.
Did they have Pacheco on special teams?
They do not.
They do not? I thought
No.
they had someone on there. It was a speeder that they had.
McCole Hardman.
Cole Hardman?
Hardman, who got traded back. Hardman and Bucker, and Harrison James are their two special teamers.
I think Kansas City has the advantage for this one. Yeah, I would give them the edge.
I'm going edge Kansas City as well on that.
Now, coaches.
I like Kyle Shanahan a lot, but I'd have to be... You might as well tell me I'm tearing this couch open and eating the stuffing if that's really who I think has the advantage. There's nothing else you can say. Andy Reid's been around in this league, and it's tough to have that much longevity without being that successful. You're going to be hard-pressed to find a coach that gets his guys to play as well as he does and understands the big moments.
He understands. I mean, and a lot of it, it's just easy to understand, he has Patrick Mahomes, but people need to realize that this guy has had other quarterbacks.
Listen, just because you got Patrick Mahomes doesn't mean somebody's not going to go out there and go, we have Patrick Mahomes, throw all game, don't run the ball.
You can't say that really, because a lot of people argue that with Bill Belichick, he's always had Tom Brady. You can't really argue that with Andy Reid, because Andy Reid had over a decade of not having Patrick Mahomes and had success.
Didn't Andy Reid make the playoffs with Alex Smith?
He made the playoffs with Alex Smith. Before Mahomes got there, obviously he made Donovan McNabb really look good, because when he went to Washington, he didn't really look that well.
I think McNabb was old at that point was the thing. McNabb was 10-year vet at that point.
Well, yeah, but he also struggled in that offense or whatever. They couldn't,
But it's still, he was a 10-year vet. I think that's what... I don't want to talk down on Donovan McNabb. I like him like a system quarterback.
I respect Donovan, but it just seemed like when he left there, they knew, Andy Reid wasn't afraid to trade him within the division, where other teams are afraid to trade him within the division.
To be fair, if your team's a dumpster fire, you're okay, or other teams in the division will trade with you. Drew Bledsoe. Because the Patriots didn't give a shit about trading Buffalo.
They weren't afraid to trade them within the division.
But that's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the quarterback. That, at that point, comes down to how bad the team around him is. If you had a quarterback and you have no pieces, look at Justin Herbert.
They were afraid to trade. They were afraid to trade Brett Favre in the division because he wanted to go to the Vikings, but they wouldn't let him.
How good were the Vikings at that point, though?
They weren't that good. They weren't winning. They weren't winning with. They needed a quarterback. That they weren't winning without a quarterback.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, what pieces did? Yeah, they had Adrian Peterson at that point.
Yeah, they had Adrian Peterson, but
that's the pieces I'm talking around it.
Yeah,
they had no quarterback. They had
If they had a quarterback, they could have won a division. That's why they wouldn't.
But what I'm saying is, if they have a line, they have a running back, and even if they have a piece on offense, if Brett Favre goes there the year he's with the Jets right away, I bet you the Vikings have a much further playoff run.
Yeah.
But that to me is different. The Bills were dog shit. The Bills didn't have the top 3 running back in the league. They didn't have a good line. Like that, I understand. I understand that for first and foremost, but still, there's no questions asked. It's got to be Andy Reid.
Yeah, Andy Reid definitely is. He is the guy. He is the guy. I mean, he's been around since his father was a head coach. Kyle Shanahan's father was a head coach. I mean, that's how long.
Even possibly before him, I think.
Before he was a tight. I think he was a tight end coach when the Packers won the Super Bowl in '96. Because he was there when Brett Favre was there at his top. But and that's how long he's been around. That's how long he's been around. He's been a head coach since 1999. No years off because he went right into Kansas City after he got fired from Philadelphia. But I'd give him the edge for sure over him.
And now time for the big game.
Yep.
It's
what are we going with?
Oh, let me look at what the favorites are.
What are the betting odds?
The Niners.
I don't understand.
Are a 1.5 point favorite.
I don't understand.
I do.
They're not good. They are not good.
I don't think KC's good. I don't think KC's that good right now. I think this is a battle between 2 mids.
Yet they're in the Super Bowl.
Yes. I think that this is what happens when the NFL fucking locks in and controls shit.
They didn't lock anything. It was just the referees. Or
bullshit. The
No.
NFL got their way.
Yeah, because they won. You can't tell me that the Ravens had their chances, man. They the triple cup. He threw it into triple.
Against the Bills?
No, I'm talking about the Ravens.
I'm talking the Chiefs should have never made it this far. The league
he missed the field goal.
The league got what they wanted.
They missed the field goal.
The league got what they wanted.
Okay, but he missed the field goal.
I don't care. The league got what they wanted. It doesn't matter who. I think it's. Unfortunately, I'm starting to go towards it's scripted. I don't care how good these kids are out of college.
It's not scripted.
Taylor Swift shows up halfway through the year, and suddenly the Chiefs are the hottest thing, and they're going to continue. Like the Chiefs,
they weren't hot though; they were losing.
But at no point in time during the year did they look good, and they still are in the Super Bowl. Like I'm hoping and praying that Travis Kelce retires, because then there's no reason.
He's not. He's still got a couple years left.
Not the murmurs I've heard. He's 32.
He's younger than his brother
by 2 years. 32. You've made your money. You've got all these things, and now you've got Taylor Swift, who not only does Taylor Swift. Fun fact of the day. Not only is Taylor Swift's net worth more than Travis Kelce's, but
there's Giselle. Giselle married Brady.
That's not where I'm going.
Oh.
Taylor Swift's cat has a higher net worth than Travis Kelce. That is a fact. Look it up. I am not lying to you, Frank. I saw that the other day. I went, you've got to. Her cat has a higher net worth. He doesn't got to do anything. He can be a stay-at-home dad. He doesn't care.
Oh my god! Wow.
He doesn't need her anymore. He's 32. Tay-Tay wants a ring and a baby. Tay-Tay wants a baby.
Oh wow. Well, okay. Yeah. I don't know how to follow that one, but anyways. So, this is a rematch from a few years ago when they were in the Super Bowl. When that was Mahomes' first Super Bowl, and they came back. Different team, obviously. There are still a lot of players on there that were on that team, but I am going to say that the Kansas City Chiefs win. I'm going to say 37 to. 20.
Is it just so you'd win the squares? 100% wasn't it? You're thinking all these numbers going, how do I get 7 and 0? I knew it.
But in all seriousness, I think the Kansas City Chiefs, the more experience, the Niners are not good. Like, Purdy, I think, is going to get exposed in this game. I think they're going to not drop the interceptions like my Packers did. And that I think is going to be the turning point, and I think they're gonna have this game locked before halftime.
I don't think that at all. I think if you're someone who is in a minute pool, this is your year to be in one, because I don't think the scores are going to change often. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair where one team blows the other out. I'm gonna say at the end of the day, it is. Ooh, this is an ugly score. I don't even know if I would win this. I don't think I would. I'm going to say it's Niners 23. Niners 23, Chiefs 17. Like, it's that close of a game.
You going with the Niners?
I'm going with the Niners.
We're going opposite.
Yep. Dude, I don't... Here's the thing. The biggest weakness on the Niners defense is the secondary. They're very good against the tight end. They're phenomenal against the run. That means that Patrick Mahomes has to have an open receiver that will catch a pass. Justin Watson's unreliable. When MVS has become your number one guy, that's a problem. And guess what? The two weaknesses on the 2 of 3 starting corners, the strongest starting corner for the Niners is who will be on Rashee Rice, their slot cover. It's their 2 exterior, and their exterior receivers have not done anything to wow me. MVS showed up out of nowhere the last 2 weeks like, hey, I'll save our season. Has not done anything the rest of the year to make me think. You know how high the over-under on his yards going to be?
Putting a lot of praise on Brock Purdy, though.
I got 23 points. He doesn't have to throw a touchdown. I don't think he will.
Yeah, but if he throws an interception and he throws a pick 6, then that screws everything.
I don't think he will. I think Shanahan's a smart enough coach to understand this is the way we're going to babysit it. They're going to get the ball in Kittle's hands. They're going to use gadget plays. Your solidified bet of the game here of our show Deebo Samuel over rushing yards. They're going to have gadgets all day. I'm taking the Niners 23-17.
All right.
You heard it.
I think she's going to win.
I know.
You think not?
I think the team that has red is going to win.
Well, that makes sense, actually.
You're right, because they both have red.
Red and red. No purples. And that was the whole logo conspiracy.
Yeah, I hate it.
The whole logo conspiracy.
Oh, I just like Brandon Ayuk.
Make sure to comment, rate, do all that good stuff. You got your ice cream, 2 scoops.
And 2 scoops, hit him up, he's open. Get some ice cream the day of the Super Bowl, because that would be wonderful for all of you people. Hit up our dude Kyle at Chicken Dippin' as well. You might still be able to get him in time for the big game. Use code 716 for 15% off your order. Code chicken on chickendippin.com or chicken_dippin on Instagram.
And also, make sure, just make sure to hashtag. I know we don't like hashtags these days, but this is a very, very important hashtag. Make it known. Especially, even the Super Bowl players. Even the Super Bowl players want this to happen.
You're going to make me go down a rabbit hole on the show, aren't you? I've got a way that we can still finish the story. And it's gonna piss off Cody fans even more so, I think. No. Hear me out here. Roman beats The Rock at Mania.
I was saying night 1, night 2.
No. I would be okay with that. I think you need something weird to happen. The biggest factor in this happening, they're not gonna. Everyone keeps going, they're gonna unify the belts again. They're not. Your best hope of seeing Cody win on night 2 is Cody highlights night 1 and Senior Money in the Bank cashes in.
Oh, you mean like after the Rock match?
No.
Catches in?
No. Cody and Seth is night 1.
Ugh.
I don't know what would happen. If that's the way you want it to happen, where he gets the shot night 2. Cody and Seth is night 1. Cody goes over on Seth. Senior Money in the Bank cashes in. Cody no longer has that belt. Held it for seconds.
That makes Cody look weak, though.
Why?
Because
it's a blindside cash in. I'm not saying he decides to cash in during the match and pins Cody. Cody goes over.
If they did that, I would have him pin Seth.
But if they go 30 minutes in a match, Cody goes over. Cody's busted, bloody, beaten. Judgment Day hits the ring. Beats the shit out of Cody, clears the ring. 1, 2, 3, easy. You beat the piss out of him. Now you've got an injured Cody. Cody's rallying. The crowd's pissed off. Cody opens night 2. Adam Pearce, Nigel McGuinness, or Nick Aldis go, you know what, Cody, you got robbed. We're entering you into a 3-way tonight. That would be your only way, but I think the most reasonable way is same thing I said. Unfortunately, I think your best way to get out of this is to Cody wins and then gets cashed in on.
I think the best scenario for anybody, because the fans are going to shit on this whole thing no matter what, especially in Philadelphia, and they already booed The Rock and Roman before.
Oh, I know,
but the only way they can do it, to me, is you do Rock, Roman, night 1, main event. Roman goes over, and then the next night you do night 2, main event.
The problem is I don't think you can.
You can.
You can't.
You can.
You can't.
Yokozuna wrestled twice. Bret Hart wrestled twice.
It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with that. What do you win the Rumble for?
To main event WrestleMania.
What does the Women's Rumble do? Main event WrestleMania. In theory, Bayley's supposed to main event one night, and Cody's supposed to...
They never do that for the women.
They did last year.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Not for the women.
I'm pretty sure they did.
No, they didn't. They did the tag match last year. The tag match main evented.
Oh, it fucking did.
Yeah, they were pissed about it, but that was what they did.
Okay, then you know what? Even more so, if you're gonna do it that way, I think you're better off. I think you're better off putting them both on.
Like do a triple threat.
Nope. Let me revise this. Have a lame WrestleMania card. Have night one Roman and Rock open the show.
I don't know if Rock would do that.
Why not?
Because he's the Rock.
Gets out of there first. If you're not last, you want to be first. That is a legitimate thing. But Roman and Rock open the show. Roman retains with some underhanded shit. Cody and Seth close the show. Bloodline comes out and tries to wipe it, screws Cody. Cody does not win that belt from Seth.
What, by disqualification?
By DQ. Does not win the belt. Both general managers come out, set up night 2 main event. Cody and Roman. No holds barred for the title.
I would have Rock be the special guest referee.
I wouldn't, because you know at that point he'd screw him. So you want to avoid The Rock as that. But that might be...
because that's another scenario people talked about, is he being the referee instead, and then he ensures that the Bloodline isn't going to do anything, and then Cody wins the title, and then that sets up WrestleMania 41 between those two.
I don't know if he wants to stick around that long. It's a problem. But the way
he's a board member.
But I don't think he wants to actively be in ring shape. The way I would have done it, I know to finish the story, everything has to be a Mania.
It does.
It doesn't.
It does.
Finish the story is getting that title.
I just
and Roman doesn't want to see. I think if it's not Mania, but if it's not Mania,
but is Roman gonna? Do you want Roman to lose the title on a B show? Well, that's the thing.
What do you mean B show?
Like anything other? Because
I think Survivor Series is a big enough show that if Roman loses the title at Survivor Series,
people say that Roman can't lose his title unless it's at WrestleMania. It has to be at WrestleMania.
I think if it would. I think if there was enough concern and he lost it at SummerSlam, I think it would be just as good. And I think that would be the most viable case. I feel like it has to be WrestleMania. Well, and also another thing too, we don't know the whole story behind the whole thing. Even beyond that, the biggest they did it because there's enough issues backstage. And but everyone keeps changing their story as well. Well, did he make the deal January 3rd? Did he not know the deal? The Rock?
Yeah, so they're saying that he made. Well, that's the reports. That there's
Did you hear the newest report?
There's been multiple.
Did you hear the newest report?
What's the new report now?
It's because of Punk.
Well, that was one of them.
No, I've heard that's the locked in one. It's because it was supposed to be Punk and Rollins.
That's what I'm telling you, though. They keep changing their story. That was the first story. Then the next story was that he already made the deal January 3rd, but Triple H didn't know, only because it was done by an annual, and they did it without telling Triple H and creative, and then that's why they booked it that way, where Cody wins and immediately points at Roman, because they had him be the guy that was going to face Roman, and then they tell him the next day that, we can't do that. I think
the biggest issue is Punk's injury, quite honestly, but... I don't know. The thing that'll make you wonder if it's Punk's injury or not will be if Punk's back in time for Mania, and it's Punk and McIntyre.
I don't know, because that's a 4 to 6 month injury.
No, it's not.
The tricep?
Cody had the same fucking...
No, that was tricep. He injured his right tricep.
All right. Well,
luckily he didn't injure his left one, because that was the one that got injured.
We should take this episode home since we've completely veered off of this. We've gone from Super Bowl to the Super Bowl of WWE.
Yeah. So, but that's just kind of thing. Like I said, I know a lot of people in the Super Bowl are talking about it, because there are people even weighed in on this. Hashtag we want Cody. Anyways, so yeah, you're picking the 49ers. I'm picking the Chiefs. And yeah. Make sure to comment, rate, all that stuff, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all these contents. And yeah, thank you guys for
another fun season.
Another season. Hopefully we can do a little bit more going forward. I know you're starting your new thing with your draft thing. Talk about that.
Yeah, so we officially, Fantasy Beasts and Where to Find Them is dead. That show is no more.
But we are still going to be called Beast.
Yes, we are still Beast Picks.
We are still Beast Picks.
But Raw Talent Sleepers will be a year-round show, every other week release. Basically, throughout the season still will be what is happening in the league and how it pertains to the following year's draft. So, like, okay, your team lost 2, now in standings, you're falling further down. Does it make more sense to try to push to the playoffs, or do you want to tank? Like, what would be those picks at that point? It's going to be familiarizing everybody with next year's draft class.
Yeah, and you're going to be doing your draft thing again. But
yes.
We want to, I don't know if you guys would do it, because I know last year we were going to try to do it, but we didn't get to do it talking about free agencies and the new league years and all the owner.
We can maybe do one a month. Last year was a little weird for us.
It was a little weird. It was tough.
I had a new studio. I had a house fire. I found out I had a baby on the way who is here. So
yeah, yes. So I would like to kind of do that, and also next year, starting next year, besides doing this on YouTube, as we make this announcement now.
We can do audio as well for it, which will be available on Spotify and Apple.
We are going to do it on Spotify and Apple starting next year. So if you're not watching this on YouTube, you can watch it on Spotify if you have a Spotify.
We'll listen on Spotify. So yes, it'll still be. So that'll be where it becomes audio only. What we're putting out there, they'll be able to, if they don't have the time to sit down and watch a video. Let's say they're at work and they want to.
If you don't have time, to watch just us talking about it on video, you can watch it.
Pop it in your earbuds and listen to us at work.
Yep. So yeah, guys, it will be definitely. We're expanding. We're expanding Beast Pick. Next year, we hope that we will have. We're gonna try to have it this year. By the end of this year, we didn't get it, but we will be getting that banner next year where we got the logo and all that stuff going on for the studios, and hopefully we get more studio.
We'll get some
more studio breaks. We've been doing the Zoom a lot because we just it was a crazy year. It was a crazy year, but we managed to pull it out.
We'll get some Beast Picks hats.
Oh, that'd be awesome if we could do that. But yeah,
I know how to. I have my own Spread Those hat.
Oh, good.
Awesome. We can do that too.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, a lot of stuff and things, and for the next year, for the third year. But yeah, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, we gotta take it home because we're out of battery.
I'm the Ultimate Goku. He's the Rainy 48. We're out of here. Enjoy the Super Bowl. See you next year, guys. Peace.